In the bay in May, I gazed into the water and the green and blue of his eyes and lost my thread in the middle of what I was trying to say. He smiled and we both stopped speaking, grinning at things left unsaid, lost mid-sentence. It took my breath away when he took me firmly around the waist and kissed me hard against the wall of a narrow cobbled alleyway. And at closing time we swigged whiskey under Gemini stars, and beneath a low gold moon we snogged in a churchyard. And much later, when I told him, "Don't do that, or you'll make me fall in love with you," he did it more and more and more, as though he had a capacity for love, as though he wanted me to fall in love with him. And for a rare and precious moment, I fell in love with the boy that swam in the bay in Galway for the day, like the May flies. It's fun. And it's just called You Dandled Me on Your Knee. Do you remember? You dandled me on your knee. You blew raspberries on my naked flesh, put your mouth to my skin, blew hard with trumpet lips and wet my navel. I don't remember minding. In fact, I think I'd have even encouraged this behaviour. I would have chuckled and laughed it off. Besides, if it had troubled me, I doubt I would have been able to fight you off, considering. Maybe this will jog your memory. You cannot forget this. It's highly likely I took a piss while sitting in your lap. I sported material fastened with a safety pin around my nether regions, which leaked. And then again, knowing me, I probably just urinated willy-nilly. I would have dribbled too. No doubt I was prone to dribbling. You see, I hadn't bothered to grow teeth yet. I might have had one tooth ripping forth at the front. It would have caused me great pains. You would have rubbed Bonjela on it to soothe it and let me chew gummily on your finger. I was probably out of it on Calpol, and I made very little sense. I gurgled and made cuckoo sounds. Admittedly, my language was limited, but I may have said dada, thrown it in casually to keep my end up and contribute to proceedings. Oh, and I was bald. Well, mostly, except for some gold wisps of feathery white curls at the crown of my head. You would have pressed your lips against them and inhaled, slowly and surely, steadily breathing me in, capturing the smell of me now, that's for sure. You may not recognise me with my clothes on. I was chubbier then, Buddha-shaped, pot-bellied, soft and pale and small. I was mostly naked and compelled to suck my own toes because it was easier then. You see, they were closer to my mouth than they are now. I was the one. It was me that couldn't find my own mouth with a spoon of mashed bananas, and I sicked up milk in fat and gentle burps. Now do you remember? It's highly likely this produced a stain, a mark that spoiled the shoulder of your jacket, which was either velvet or corduroy or suede, a peacock green, an indigo ink blue, perhaps more red wine, burgundy. I suddenly don't remember which, but it would have been a bitch to wipe off. I wonder if any of this rings any bells. I know I would have been with a woman. She went everywhere with me back then. She watched me incessantly. She'd chase me if I tried to crawl away. She stopped me sticking my fingers in plug sockets. She snatched me up into her bosom when I tried to drink shampoo or eat the cat's food. She even took it upon herself to papoose me to her chest, and then she wheeled me around the streets in all weathers, in a sort of movable bed. I was wrapped up in a pink blanket. I never had to walk anywhere then, which was a sweet gig, because I could only just stand up on my own 2 feet. The woman, yes, you must remember her. She was a fit sort, highly accommodating, glittery dark eyes and a bright smile. Most of all, she had very lovely, long, smooth legs, and she kept getting her breasts out to put her tit in my mouth, which was something that was required. She was up for it though, and she did it all the time, even in the middle of the night, even in public. The woman was in the habit of wiping my bum and covering it in powder. In fact, she cleaned up all my mess. She made a point to factor in my every need. She gave me attention for the smallest things, the faces I learned to pull smiling, or my preoccupation with eating mud. What a sport, what a super nice lady. She gave me such loving. She's still knocking around, you know. She says she loves me. One of these days I really must find some way to thank her, properly. And she sang to me, in fact you both did, whilst rocking me. You sang duets, merrily, 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 life is but a dream. You both watched over me as I fell asleep, as though you had nothing better to do of an evening. Do you remember you dandled me on your knee? I remember, I have to remember that. I mean, I make a point of making sure to never forget these things. The essence is diluted with time, but it comes sometimes in the blink of an eye, on the tip of my tongue. triggered by a sensation of warmth or a certain trick in the light, a flicker of flame in a sunset at the end of a dying daylight, this yellowing snapshot, this flash image of a faint shape of you, your sideburns against my cheek, my own chubby hand grabbing your chest hairs, sprouting out above the neck of your vest. You wore a crucifix, or was it a St. Christopher on a chain, a wristwatch then? I remember chewing a leather watch strap. And sometimes in that silence between heartbeats, I can call upon a sound, a heat, and a vibration of you being there. The man and the woman laughing. High above my head there was tenderness. And strain, the woman crying, tears streaking her face, banging my back, agitated, swinging me from hip to hip as you sulk and skipped, guilty and shadowy, ghostly as smoke. Sour booze, morning bread, scratch-burnt toast, a cold cup of tea, milk forming a skin, the boat setting sail. You must leave. We knew this. We all know this now, but not until you were going, gone.